Hi guys! On today's episode, I had an exciting time chatting with Shades of Soso, who is an actress and a content creator. We talked about Netflix show Bling Empire, which is a reality television series about wildly wealthy Asians, the parties, the glamour and the drama, all in Los Angeles. I had such an exciting time talking with Shades of Soso, and I'm sure you would too. Enjoy! Welcome to the Rated Rachael Podcast, where we build the bridge between fantasy and reality. I am your host, Rachel. So, hi, Soso. Welcome to the Rated Rachael Podcast. Hi, everybody. I have a special guest with me here today. She's such an amazing personality. I've been following her on social media for quite I think over a year now, and she's super hilarious, super talented. She's an actress, she's everything. But I'm just gonna give her the floor so that she can tell her markets because she has such an exciting vibe. So the floor is yours.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Rachel. Hi everyone. My name is Soso. I am an actor. I'm a content creator. I'm a makeup artist, though I really don't do that part much right now, but it's still there. I like to call myself multi-talented because I have a lot of things I know how to do. So, but like acting content is like on the forefront. So, yeah, I live in Winnipeg, Canada, and I'm excited to be on your podcast.
Thank you. Like this has literally like been a long time coming. I don't know. It's like the spirit of God just dropped it into me. Like, why didn't you reach out to Soso? Because I'm always like watching her. Anytime she finishes like watching maybe something, and she just posts her comments about it. This person did this. I'm like, this lady needs to come and drop some gemstones on the podcast because part of the initiative. For me, starting the podcast basically to talk about movies. I love watching movies. I love watching TV shows.
Die-hard movie fan.
And I feel like there are, apart from the entertainment aspect of it, there are literally like different kind of lessons that we can pick up from them. We can banter about them. We can rant about them. But I feel like we can always connect the dots between what is being portrayed on screen and does it really apply to our daily lives. And today we're going to be talking about Bling Empire. Now, Bling Empire is not actually a movie; it's a reality TV show, right? And I think it's aired on Netflix about a month ago.
Yeah.
And it's a reality show that tells the story of rich Asians basically living in Los Angeles. And initially, when I saw the trailer, I was thinking in my mind that, what kind of show is this? What is it all about? And so I'm just going to put it to you. Like, what were your first impressions when you saw Bling Empire? When you started watching it, what were your first impressions?
Did I really have an impression? I mean, from the name, okay, yeah, of course. From the name, I felt like shmoney because obviously, like Bling and Empire just screams money, right? But then when I started watching it and found it was like Asian people, I live in Canada. They rule this place. Like they have money.
Oh, damn.
Like they have money here. There's so much here, and they have so much money. So it wasn't really surprising that much for me to see. I guess what was surprising is actually seeing it on TV, not like the lifestyle. Because even while I was in Toronto, I saw a lot of like real life like shmoney Asians. So but I
think it was more or less like bringing to life Crazy Rich Asians because I don't know if you watch Crazy Rich Asians. So bringing to life Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just also,
so if you've watched Crazy Rich Asians, you realize that this reality TV show is basically like
almost like that.
It's just showing us what really happens, But please go ahead.
And also for me, it's just like showing their like. I learned a lot about their culture, kind of, and just knowing that it literally happens everywhere with this whole family issues, siblings and all of that. So yeah, it was great. Like But my impression, yeah, it was all money, and I lived for the money that I saw in that show. I lived, for that luxury. I lived for the luxury. I love to say it.
Yeah, I feel like that's such a vital part, especially when you're getting closer to your 30s, when you're getting
Mm-hmm.
older. You're always having this mindset of, okay, how do I make more
Mm-hmm.
money? How do I connect to people
Mm-hmm.
that do have money? And how do people who actually have the money, how do they live their lives?
Yeah.
And so, to our audience, this is a reality show that basically shows us how Asian people live their lives, or the rich Asians,
Yeah.
how they live their life in United States of America. And then it touches on basically the lives of Asian Americans.
Yeah.
So it's Asians who are based in America, not
In
Asians that
Asia.
actually grew up in Asia.
And it's
And
gonna
so,
call you poor in all languages. So, take your time and watch.
if you have low self-esteem
Yeah.
in terms of money, don't go and
Don't be
watch it.
depressed.
Oh,
So,
just get yourself ready.
oh my god.
Okay, so part of the topics that were basically addressed in this show, we've got rich people problems, the gap between growing up rich and then stumbling into it, and then infertility, grief, paternity, cultural oppression on women, abusive relationships. So we're just gonna take them bit by bit basically, and we're going to start from Kevin, who literally like opened up the show. So we're introduced into the show via Kevin, who isn't a rich Asian. So
Yeah.
we found out that this particular guy found himself in the midst of Asians who are more well-to-do than he is. So what were your like thoughts about Kevin and him settling into did you were you able to relate with Kevin as as a
Are you not
person?
able to relate? Let me ask you. Let me ask you. No, now were you not able to relate to Kelvin?
I was able to.
Because Kelvin was the closest to our life right now on that show. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even our life. Do you get? But he was like the closest thing to what we are right now when it comes to finances, right? Because this show, let's not forget. I mean, we're to do. We're not poor people, but this show
Yeah,
is
well, okay.
luxurious. It's about like big, what I like to call bastard money. It's about bastard money. So Kelvin was the closest to that we could relate to as people, as average Americans, average Canadians, average Londoners. I don't know what you guys call yourself, but
Nigerians living in London.
I could relate to Kelvin because, and I know that's probably why they put him there and why they made him play that character, because the average people needed to have something to relate to on the show and not just watch all the money, money, money. And Kelvin gave me life in that show. He was like it was the highlight for me. He was my favorite character. And funny enough, after like seeing Kelvin on like 2 scenes, I had to like Google the guy and found out he was even actually richer than about 3 of them in real life. Yeah. He's
Wow,
actually richer than
that's
about 3
amazing.
of them. So he played the role just for the role. Do you get? I think he's richer than the DJ. What was her name again? The DJ. The very the
Kim.
annoyed. She was that guy annoyed life out of me. It was richer than her and one other person. So for me, that was just cool because if Kelvin was not that show, I would have just been looking like, hey God, do Baba God, do pick up. But yeah.
I know, like, I think when I first started watching it, I was just thinking like, okay, this is interesting. I like his mindset and how that he sort of like moved and how he made friends, and that takes us to Kane. Kane, who is actually well-to-do,
Yeah.
but he's humble. And when I say humble, I just use the word loosely. Humble doesn't necessarily mean that you're foolish. It just basically means that you're not this prideful person. So we see Kane is humble, but he's got his stack of shoes.
And he was mad rich.
I could really feel the what I call it bromance between Kevin and Kane and the way they were relating. And do you think that sort of relationship is actually possible? Okay, so we are Nigerians, right? So is it possible to have such relationship between someone that is literally like very wealthy and someone that is supposedly middle class.
Yeah, it is. So when I was talking about Kelvin, I was going to relate to myself because growing up, I had like
Okay.
friends who came from like wealthy homes, like, and that time their dads were politicians, you know. I mean, my dad is a nobody, and I met them, like we grew up in the same church and all that. We were very close. Like it's very, very possible to have that romance between you and a very, very wealthy, rich or stinkingly rich person. And I love the fact that Kelvin was real to himself. Like even with in the midst of all that money, you see how he's odd when they give him, like, when especially when what's her name? My favorite character, the lady, the old lady,
Anna.
Anna, right? When
Anna.
Anna gave
Anna
him
Shay, yeah.
when Anna gave him the shoe and he returned it, and he was just real, like the real thing that, you know, for the sake of this show, let's say the real thing poor people would do, poor people like Kelvin would do. And that was just so cool because he was very real to himself. You see, when they got into the flight, he couldn't even do the jokes with them when they were naming bags and stuff.
True,
He couldn't
true.
because that's not his lifestyle. And Ken being that very rich kid, having this friend, it was for Ken, it was all about brotherhood. It was all about love. It was Ken didn't see himself with the money he had. He saw himself like the average person, and his mindset was like, yo, I'm a human being before whatever I have, right? Yeah, so that was, it's very possible. It's just that, you know, where we come from, it's hard because we have a lot of pride as Nigerians. It can be hard, but there's still people like that. I mean, I see a lot
There's
of,
still people that can
yeah,
relate in
I see
that
a
way.
lot of people who are supposedly rich in Nigeria and they have really good friends, close friends who I know are not like even up to their, you know, net worth or something. So yeah.
I think that's pretty interesting. So I'm gonna move over to another cast member. So Kelly. Kelly, the I don't know the entrepreneur lady who is dating this interesting guy Andrew, and funny, you know the most amazing thing about Kelly is that we find out that she's dating an actor who is supposedly a former Power Ranger. He acted the role of Power Rangers, and I don't know if you ever grew up with Power Rangers. I grew up with Power Rangers, and initially when she said Power Rangers, I had to go Google it. Like, okay, which Power Ranger is he? Red Ranger. Just that role on Nickelodeon. Like, he's not even like a major superstar. And I was like, okay, I was like, okay, fine. Let's see what this relationship is all about. And I think my first red flag was when they had the sort of like discussion. I think at the restaurant, Kevin, Kane, I think Jamie was there, and and you know Kevin obviously. So guys, Kevin is literally interested in Kelly.
He
He
loves
likes
her.
Kelly. He wants to
He
date her.
loves her. He is obsessed with
He
her.
loves Kelly. Literally obsessed. And so she Kevin asks her that why is she in this relationship with this guy, and she says he treats me
He's
well.
yo, no,
He
no,
doesn't
no.
cheat.
She
He
said
doesn't
he
cheat.
doesn't cheat. He's honest. And in LA,
He's
that's like hard to find. Yo, that relationship gave me
that is hard
headache,
to
I
find.
beg. It gave me headache, emotional trauma. Like, no.
I wanted you to just tell me what was going through your mind,
I
literally.
was I was pissed 99% of the time. Um, the other 1%, I shared it between being upset again and having, you know, this emotional roller coaster because I don't like when people say, like, when people turn basic things into like, I don't know how to put it. Like something that's basic, like a bare minimum, you start praising people for it. It irks me. It tears me apart when I hear people do that or when I see people do that. Like he doesn't cheat, he's honest. That's what a human being is
That's
supposed to
basic,
be.
right?
No, yeah, that's what a human being is supposed to be. They're not supposed to cheat when they're in a relationship. They're not supposed to lie. They're supposed to be honest with everybody. And this is why you're picking this man because to you, in the whole of LA, you can't find that type. So because he doesn't cheat on you, he's being honest. He can abuse you emotionally and physically. How does it even make sense? You know, and I know with, you know, emotional abuse and abusive people, abuse victims like Kelly was, it takes them a while to, understand where they're at and, try to get out of it. But Kelly's own was super, super annoying because I don't know how to explain. It was just annoying because, and that's why Anna could not even take like the whole drama from the Andrew guy and take the drama from her. Anna just wanted them to separate at some point. And then she started lying about the relationship. Like that relationship was just a whole lot of a headache. There was too much going on with both of them that just didn't sit right. All the red flags were there, but Kelly was just like, it's hard to find a faithful man in LA. A big.
I think a lot of ladies always have this notion that okay, just because it's difficult or challenging, basically, I'll use the word challenging, to find somebody that they really, really want and is within the same wavelength as them, they begin to settle for whoever and
Or less.
Whoever walks in through the door and whoever is there and whoever shows some bit of attention to them, and which is the problem I feel Kelly has, because if you notice, okay, they moved, Anna takes her to Paris for her birthday, and Anna is like, go friendship, friendship goes. Like that's the kind of friend we want in our lives that would just take us on a shopping spree. And we discovered that Andrew just calls her and he's raking that she left him to go out. She didn't wake him up, and I'm like, are you that insecure that you can't trust your babe to go out with her friends?
The guy had too many personal issues he needed to deal with.
At some point, I felt like the therapist was even afraid of him. The therapist, I thought she was afraid of him because she was like, okay, she needs to speak to Kelly alone, and then he now went outside. I think he did the funniest thing ever, like, and he knelt down, he started praying. Oh my god!
No, every time I think about that show, if I just remember Kelly and Andrew, I'm just like headache, because no, we're not at this point. Like I feel that show was shot probably in 2020 or 2019. This is not the year we're picking up men from their trauma and trying to walk them through walk your shit out before you come for me. Like, walk your shit out, because we all have childhood trauma. We have issues with ourselves that we've been unlearning, and learning new things in replacement of that. So deal with your childhood traumas, deal with your anxiety, deal with your insecurity, deal with your whatever. Before you come for me, I'm not going to nurture you. I'm not your mom. I'm not your mom. I can't do that.
I think it's very, very like important, and I noticed that like Kelly had this. She lacked this inability to basically call off the relationship. Like, okay,
and then she was making
I'm done with it, and then she's hiding and lying. I'm like, girl, you're a grown-up lady. Like, you should be able to say what like you said earlier. You talked about how that people that have literally gone through emotional abuse, they find it difficult like to literally come out of it, and that's why I think Kelly has a support system. I feel like she has Anna, but she's shying away from relying on that support system. I don't know if you get it. So she has a support system which she doesn't want to make use of. There are people who actually go through such emotional craziness and they don't even have anyone to talk to. So which is like literally like crazy. So we're gonna talk about like Anna. So Anna is literally the queen.
Who got the keys to the city?
Queen goes. Initially,
that's Anna.
Initially, when I saw Anna, I was like, okay, what is she gonna add to the show? And there are a lot of people who were a bit upset, being that her father is into weapons and weaponry, defense, and all this kind of thing. They're like, okay, it's bad stuff, things that are gonna kill people, basically. So they're like, oh, her father is profiting off people dying. But we're not just gonna delve into that. So we're gonna talk about her character and her personality. And I feel like she brings such calmness and warmness that I've never seen. Like, I've seen it before, like with regular people, but like with somebody that has such opportunities, connections, network. And she's just like literally down to earth. What were your like thoughts about her?
I love her because you know what it means for what it means to be a person that nothing is too expensive for. Like, there's literally nothing in the world too expensive for Anna. Like, in her world, price does not exist. The first time I
Oh
saw that
God.
line, when I saw that line on the show, in Anna's world, prices does not
Does
exist.
not
Ah,
exist.
Mogbe. I'm like, Baba God, what was I doing with my life in heaven? Why was I not planning? You know? And she has this very humble spirit. She has this very humble personality. She's just down to earth. She, even when these idiots went to her house to take out all that, personal belongings, she took it like a boss. Like, no, I love Anna. And when I saw her first on the show, I knew that although with reality shows, there's always that person who has to bring energy, right? It could be like a
Yes.
controversial person, like the other girl from, I don't know if you watched Selling
Kristen.
Sunset. The other girl, Christine.
I
I
haven't
think
watched
Christine
Selling
was her
Sunset
name on
yet.
Selling Sunset. She brought the bad energy, but she was filthy rich. Then she was the very troublesome person like Kim. But in this show, Anna was the highlight, the vibe, but then she was a calm person and I could still enjoy the show. So she did it very well. Like, you can't, I don't think there's anybody that can be that rich and be humble and big.
I feel like it's possible. Do you know, like, I think it's possible. I mean, like, we could see, like, of course, Anna doesn't take, like, rubbish, because I noticed she said something that she doesn't get impressed by
Mhm.
things, but by people and who they are. So this is referring to her relationship with Kristen, and Kristen always trying to name drop.
Mhm.
Kristen is just like another character on her own. I mean, I feel like she's a cool person, but then she has this. I think Kristen just recently came into money. I won't say recently came into money. She recently started, being rubbing shoulders with the high and
Mhm.
mighty, literally. So I think now she feels like every single moment that she gets, she needs to flaunt her wings. She
Mhm.
needs to show that, okay, I wear Gucci, I wear Fendi.
Kristen is
It's
the
not
one
easy.
that the husband was trying to have another baby with, right?
Yes,
She's the one that
yes,
had the Fendi vending machine at her daughter's birthday, at her son's birthday.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
She was
yes.
trying to compete with Anna, Sha, but you don't have that kind of money, my guy.
I think something interesting that Anna did was, I think what made me see Anna like as a boss bitch, right, was when during, I think, Anna's party, Anna had invited everybody, and Kristen was asking her about the jewelry she had worn at her diamonds, and I was like, I don't understand.
No, you don't know
Is that what
what
we came
happened.
here
Kristen
for?
went and bought the jewelry Anna was going to buy. That's where the problem
Yes, she
started
bought the same
from.
one.
So she wanted to show to Anna that she could be Anna. And see, Anna gave me lines on that show. I said one, prices don't exist. The other favorite line for me was, she cannot compete with what I was born into. Like, there's a difference between when you're born into wealth and when you make money. You can't compete with someone who's born into wealth. No. She was the
Do you think?
queen.
Do you think that is some level of arrogance as
I didn't
well,
see any
like
pride
with
in that statement, my guy. Because before Anna made that statement, like Kristen was just always wanting to show to Anna that I could be you, I could do more than you. But you don't have that money, babe. Let's be real, you don't have that much. If you like, you marry the doctor from Asia or the king of Asia first. You don't have that kind of money.
And you know the most interesting part? Like, a lot of netizens online were saying that even that stuff that Christine said about her husband being the next in
Yeah,
line, if they see her, that thing is bullshit, that it's not even true, that she's just capping, like she's literally just blowing off
I see
steam,
her
that
like
doesn't make
someone that
sense.
exaggerates a lot, so I won't be surprised. You know how some people are on Instagram trying to compete with people, with influencers, people who they just see are making moves, buying clothes, buying gadgets and stuff. You don't know how they made it, and you're literally soaking all your money, your bank account into buying the same stuff. That's how I see Christine. Christine is going to spend that her husband's entire money trying to compete with Anna, and Anna's money will still not get to like halfway. You know, all that Fendi vending machine you had on your at your son's birthday, it's to compete with Anna, and there's no competition here. Anna just lives her life. She doesn't like even try to be whoever. And you're trying to, come on, nah, man, that lady, sha. But then her husband trying to make her have a child, that was just another.
So what did you think? So let's go to the fertility issues now.
That was and you know what got me angry was when I found out she actually, and that's why I said when I was watching the show, I said a lot of things we could relate as Nigerians. I mean, I never knew we could share almost the same kind of, culture and stuff. Because even when the other lady, the lady that the husband bought ingredients for soup with $15,000, what was her name again?
Cherry and Jesse. We're going to talk about their relationship as well.
No, that one, man. See, that one was another annoying moment. So when she had a baby, Kane told her that when you carry babies and they don't cry, that means you have good spirit. That's something I grew up hearing a lot. So for Kristen, when I found that she was actually covering her husband's infertility, I was like, no, sis. This is a lot of things Nigerian women do as well. Like, a woman is unable to have a child back home, they give it to her. They say it's hard. Nobody ever says it's the husband. They will just say, it's you. I mean, for how long? For those years, you covered, you took the blame, you took everything because you wanted to marry into a wealthy family. You took the blame, became enemies with your in-laws. They just reconciled with you because now you have a baby boy. And it's your husband that's the problem. And it's the same person trying to pressure you into another child. No, that's not allowed. Like, if I don't want to have a child as I'm here, nobody should pressure my life. If I say I'm going to have one, my man should be able to understand. And if we have one, and if even the annoying part was, you are the reason why.
Yes.
So why are you the one pressuring for the child? That was the most annoying part for me. When the man was pressuring her,
the fact that she went through so much, like
trying to have
before
that child.
She had the first child.
And you are the problem.
Man.
It's not like she's infertile. It's nothing's wrong with her. It's you, the very doctor, that has the problem. Like, that was just,
women have it tough, man.
I couldn't deal with that part of her marriage. I think it was crazy.
It was really like I feel like it's some sort of like cultural oppression, and which is what we are like touching on now. There's always this sense of culture. We want to respect our people. We want things to go the certain way. But sometimes, in the middle of culture, people forget that people have emotions, people have feelings, people have shit that they're dealing with, and sometimes you just need to like listen and be much more endearing towards whatever challenge that someone is going through.
Imagine being married to somebody I feel like you are married to his family as well. I mean, I'm not saying don't respect your husband's family, but Kristen was married to her husband at the same time, married to the father and the mom, because they were so scared of those people. Like, no, my marriage is me and my husband. You are just there as decoration when I decide to give you your whatever. Don't be the ones making decisions in my marriage.
Man, it's really tough. And like, I'm really glad like literally like things are changing. Hopefully things are changing now. In this modern days, because every single family right now, we're just trying to like change the narrative, trying to do things like with sense so that we're not gonna enter one chance. So everything is with wisdom,
I swear on God's wisdom.
Because I remember I and my sister were talking, we were like, okay, so where are you going to do the traditional wedding? I said, well, me, I've already resolved long time ago, that's fine. If he wants to have a traditional wedding in the village, no wahala. Like, I've resolved, I've removed my hand there. But you see that white wedding?
That's my own.
We're going to drag it.
That's my own. Because
we're going to drag
it. Because honestly, it's even a destination wedding. So there will be no way my mom is going to have a say. It's a destination wedding.
Hey!
She's not gonna be able to tell me as 66 family members are going to attend. If they can buy tickets, now.
Oh yeah.
But it's not everybody that's gonna buy tickets can come. So I can manipulate that.
I think destination weddings are cool.
I can manipulate that because that's my wedding. Let her have the traditional one for herself. Let's share it. Take that one. I'll take this one. Because you can't win with family.
That's like it's such an important lesson. You can't win with family. You just need to be diplomatic about it. Let's talk about
Yeah.
Kim. So Kim, in short, my first impression, I actually was gonna like her, but then when she pulled her stunts at Anna's house, and the fact that she couldn't apologize, and I feel like it's the entitlement for me. Like, you went into somebody's house, irrespective of whatever you see there. Like, it was just that entitled, like, it's not a big deal. And she kept lying and denying that she didn't, like, it's the other guy that picked up the stuff. She was the one that went into the house. Guy followed her, he followed suit. So if there was an issue whatsoever, like, she should have been the one to own up and apologize for it. And I don't know, and it's not something that is uncommon. Like, it's that kind of behavior. People do exhibit those kind of traits, such that they will do something wrong and they can't apologize for it. What do you think?
It's one of the reasons my respect for Anna doubled at that point, because the way she handled it. I, for one, I'm Christian, but I'm not stupid. I will give you back.
You collect slap.
You go collect, you go take, my guy. You go take. Because this is my house. As I'm here right now, my house is very sacred to me. Like, it's my privacy. It's not just anybody that comes into my house. Like, I know I create content and all of that, but people don't know I'm very introverted. I like my space. I'm loud on social media because, yes, it's my alter ego and it's a camera. I'm not outside. I'm recording in my house.
Yeah.
But my house is privacy. So if you come into my house, you behave. And then she did all that. She refused to apologize. She was so entitled, feeling like, what do I need to apologize for? Like, you came into my house, bitch. Not your house. You're telling me what do I need to apologize for? Who keeps a penis pumper there? I don't know what she called it. In their house.
Yeah, penis pumper.
Is it your business what I do in my house? If I want to have a huge grown man in my house with nakedness, that's my business. If you see a man walking around my house naked, mind your business. And she didn't apologize. And Anna took it like a boss. Anna took it with respect. I respected Anna because I don't have that patience in me. I don't have it. I don't have it. As long as it's my place, my privacy, you are collecting slap. And then she disrespected Kelvin for it well. Poured Kelvin a drink, telling him she's your sugar baby. I don't know what she was saying. She's your sugar baby. Are you okay?
I think Kevin was really, really like calm, because me, I will not take such nonsense. Honestly.
I didn't dig that Kim. From the very minute I saw Kim, I did not dig her. I didn't dig her. I knew she was trouble. There was just something about her. And she did not even prove me wrong. She was just messy throughout the show.
It's just crazy. I think the only part where I really like empathized with her was when found out that her dad had passed on. Her biological dad had passed on. I think that was so even at the end, towards the end of the show, when she even went to apologize, I just felt like it wasn't even heartfelt. Anna had to be the one to call out.
Did your dad need to die for you to know that if you offend people, you make amends?
You exactly.
That's not coming from your heart. It's because someone died and you're scared.
Why do people do that? Like, why do people feel they have to wait for something bad to happen before they now realize, I've done something wrong, I want to come and apologize?
I don't know, man. Nah, I didn't feel Kim. I don't miss her.
Okay, so what else do I want to talk about? Oh yes, I want to talk about Sherry and Jesse. I think these are part of like the last set of cast members. Sherry, the lady with
the twin,
she's pregnant, and then I think she already has like a baby with Jesse. And I want to talk about like women usually like holding the reins in a relationship. So we see that Sherry, she has been with this guy at least for some time. They've been together for a long time, and they're unmarried. And basically, according to Asian culture, they are supposed to actually be married before they have kids, which is literally almost the same thing like back in Nigeria, like virtually most cultures, like do the right way, get married, have kids. And I noticed that Sherry was literally always the one trying to, and she's such a sweet girl. Like she's like, I like her vibe, she's cute and all that. And the fact that she had to be the one consistently like telling Jesse that, okay, when are you gonna propose? And then she understands the kind of guy that he is. He's not the type to he doesn't like someone telling him what to do, literally.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of the show, Sherry goes ahead to propose to him. I didn't even think she was gonna put it through. What were your thoughts?
That was stupid. First of all,
I thought she was a clown.
Clown, stupid, almost the
Clown
same
behavior.
description. It was stupid. It wasn't stupid not because she proposed to the guy, but stupid because she knew the guy is not gonna get married. But she was trying to force it. Now, that's what I see a lot of people do. Like, they stay with guys who are not ready to commit per se, and then you go ahead and have a baby by this guy, and then you're now stuck in between: do I leave or do I stay to be married? Do I leave or do I stay to be married? Now, Kim and Jesse, I don't doubt. I don't know if he loves her, because I don't know how people explain love, but from my perspective, that's totally not love. He's probably infatuated or obsessed with her or fond of her, because someone you love, you want to spend the rest of your life with, and
You are sure, right?
and if you're not planning to get married to them, because there are people who just want to like spend the rest of their life together without a tag called marriage. So you let them know, you have a conversation about these things, right?
Yeah.
But for Jesse and Sherry was basically all about married. But Jesse is not the guy. I didn't see Jesse as a guy who was ready to settle down, who was ready to go through that whole ceremonial marriage, whatever that people go through. And he kept posting her. And then when she even like gave him the ring, when she proposed to him, it felt like he took it because he didn't want to disgrace her in front of her friends. But
oh man,
Jesse,
that was like the worst.
yeah, he took it because he didn't want to disgrace her in front of her friends. He didn't want to embarrass her. It's not because he, from his heart, he really wants to be married to Sherry at this point. And I'm waiting for season 2, because I know that marriage is not going to hold. It's one thing to propose, it's another thing to plan the wedding, right? And actually walk down the aisle. So Jesse is not going to plan that marriage. Jesse is not going to do that. See, women, I don't know.
Women, like honestly,
women need to get themselves together, because 2021 is not the year where you want to be giving the energy you're not getting. Because a lot of these guys, right? A lot of these guys are scared of commitment, but they want someone to be there, and it doesn't always work like that. You are either in or out. Today they are all about you. Today they are all lovey-dovey. Today they are promising you heaven and earth, promising you the world. I don't know where the rest of us are going to stay, but but the next day their head is shaking. Sherry made a very wrong move, and I don't know why. And that's another thing I'm angry with this Christine lady for, because she told Christine, right? How are you a good friend if you cannot discourage your friend when they're about to be stupid? Christine was pushing her, encouraging her. Christine, this is stupidity. You knew, but you were encouraging her. At least say your mind. Even if she doesn't take it, be a good friend. Say your mind. Because that's what I'll do. I mean, I don't care. I tell you the truth, regardless of who you are to me. If you take it, you take it. If you don't take it, that's your business. Tell this girl the truth. Christine did not feel comfortable with it, but she was smiling and why?
I don't understand why your friends are about to choke hand inside fire and you allow her to get burnt. Like I just felt it was just
That
rushed.
was stupid
I mean,
fun.
like, I know she did it out of the goodness of her heart and out of the fact that okay, she loves this guy, she wants to spend the rest of her life with. But even from judging from Jesse's expression, like even the way he was even looking like, hell yeah, they're like, say yes.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna say? And they're like, oh, of course I'm gonna say yes. Of course I want to marry you. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
nah,
Mm-hmm.
nah. He wasn't even sure, and I'm like, oh God, Sherry, this guy is not sure that he wants to marry you,
He took the ring
and I
just to
feel like,
shut up.
hmm,
Like, you won't
I
marry,
feel
you
like
won't marry. Shut up.
there was something like I don't know if you're watching this show on Internet TV, Game On. And it's almost like something similar that is happening. Not exactly the same case,
See,
but
let's not talk about game on. Let's not talk about game on. I feel like beating that girl.
so it's just
It's
like
what do you
when
mean
a
it's
guy
not the
is
same
not
thing? It's the
sure,
same thing now.
it's
It's the
the
same thing
same
that's happening. The guy is giving her a ring out of pity.
true, 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 true. I feel like if a guy is not ready, don't God, don't force him. Literally, like he has to want it. He
Exactly.
has to want to propose. He has to want to marry you, which is such an important thing. Well, I think we're getting closer to the end. So what are your like general consensus about this show? Do you think that they were able to like highlight on major issues that are literally like affecting society today?
They did. Like, we all had fun. It was bling, it was money, but they did touch on a lot of things. And for me, the first was friendship, right? The loyalty between Kane and Kelvin. They are like ride or die. And I live for friendships that are well founded. And then they touched on how you could have everything in the world and still be a human being, which is Anna, and still have a human heart and still see people for who they are, love them for who they are. And then there's the whole marriage, family, and fertility thing with Christine and her husband. Her name is Christine, right? And then there's this,
Christine,
you
yes.
know, knowing where you stand in your relationship that Kelly couldn't do. Kelly was an example to a lot of people in the society and in our age now, to know that when you're not getting the same energy you're giving out, you need to take a walk. So they touched on very, very important societal issues for me. Like, they did. I mean, although it will take someone who sees things deep and who sees beyond the screen, because me, when I watch shows and watch movies, I don't just watch for the fun of it, for the picture quality or whatever. Because I went to acting school, I analyze these things, I get into it emotionally. That's why when I'm talking about all my story, people are always, interested, because the way the vim with which I talk about these shows is like I'm producing it with them. But that's because I immerse myself into the show. Um, so for me, they touched a lot about different aspects of life and current things that people are dealing with, and that was good, because it's not just all about show me the money. At least let there be some sense to it, right?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Like, I really had fun, and I'm really excited that you're able to join me today. Like,
Sure, sure.
this is really exciting, and I'm so happy that you're able to come on the podcast. So everyone, round of applause for Soso wherever you're listening to, because she's it really took my faith to reach out and I'm like, God, please let
Thank
her
you. No,
to
thank
reply
you.
me.
Thank you for having me
so so
always.
thank you so much for joining us today on the Rated Rachael Podcast. And where can they definitely find you on social media, but I would like you to just share all your handles, everything, YouTube, Instagram,
Um,
and all.
yeah, that's the good thing about me. My handle is the same everywhere. So YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. It's just at Shades of Soso, which is SHADESOFSOSO. You can find me if you type it. You can find me everywhere. Like, I made that easy because I don't
So
know.
she's everywhere,
Yeah, I
guys.
don't want to be. I'm even on Clubhouse with the same name. So
Don't worry, I'm gonna come join you guys on Clubhouse very soon. Like,
Sure,
I promise you guys very soon we'll soon get an iPhone and we'll come and join you guys on Clubhouse. My elder sister has been on my case, like, oh yeah, now how far? Come and join, come and talk. You like to talk, so I'm like, okay, don't worry, very soon I'll come.
I feel like a podcast is just live, and you will enjoy it.
Like a live podcast, yeah. I've been seeing all the tweets and I'm like, oh God, this sounds like fun.
It is.
But I don't want to be a hater because I'm not on the platform yet.
It is fun. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Soso. Thanks so much, everyone, for listening to today's episode. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Rated Rachael Podcast.
Bye.